What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dudes Ascend, where we talk about how to elevate ourselves as men. My name is Hamilton, and today we're on day 16. Well, actually, I'm on day 17, but yesterday was day 16. I didn't get a video done because we got back from the beach at like 3 in the morning, and we were up until about 4, and then I had to get up to work on Zoom from like 8 to 3 yesterday. I pretty much just went right back to bed after that. So my check-in for day 16, which was yesterday for me, obviously I was like super tired, trying to get up at 8 after only getting like 3 hours of sleep. That was really difficult, and I noticed some like old habits coming up of like really wanting to, and even starting to like look at some dangerous things on like Instagram and YouTube, almost as a way of like kind of rousing myself. And that was an old habit. Like I used to regularly get like 3 or 4 hours of sleep back when I had I used to have a job where I was getting up at like 6 in the morning, and I would be regularly staying up until like 2 in the morning, to playing video games and stuff. And then when I would wake up, I'd be so dead tired, and like, I developed this routine kind of. It was another way of like using porn or erotic material to sort of rouse myself in the morning. So I say that to say that I found myself almost like starting that routine and realized, okay, this is not good. I'm on day 16 here, and I'm about to start working on Zoom. So I took my phone actually the whole time that I was working, like all morning and afternoon. I just gave my phone to my wife, like put it out of the room downstairs, and so that I just didn't have that option. And I just had a book next to me while I was working on Zoom. I didn't even have to like be on the call so much. I was basically just making announcements throughout the Zoom call, so it was pretty easy work. But I wanted to make sure that I was keeping myself occupied with other things. I was reading this like self-help book, and it was nice. So I say all that to say that like getting good rest while you're doing this is crucial, because when you're super tired, you're just not thinking as well, you're not thinking clearly, and you're that much more vulnerable. And I recommend at least a bare minimum of like 6 hours of sleep a night. I usually get like 8, but anything less than that, I start to get really tired, and I'm not thinking it straight, and it's easy to slide into those holes. All of this stuff is a very slippery slope. You can go from social media to YouTube to quickly some kind of porn site, and it's just it happens before you know it. So my daily tip for day 16 is to find yourself some professional help. A therapist is really crucial for recovery, and you want to throw as many things as you can at this, right? I mentioned finding a meeting, which can be an amazing way to get yourself a community of other people that deeply understand addiction, because they themselves are going through it. But usually those people aren't professionals, and a professional can give you another aspect of recovery as well, and some very helpful tools. And usually what they really help with is identifying like what are the things underlying your addiction, what are the root causes for it for you. And when you start to heal those things, it becomes that much easier to start healing the habits too. And 12 steps is great at like all kinds of techniques and ways of healing the habits and replacing with new habits. So yeah, a therapist is really helpful for figuring out what are the root causes, and they'll help you with figuring out what are the really vulnerable spots for you. Like for me, I mentioned when I'm feeling super tired and I didn't get enough sleep. That's a big one. And I also mentioned when I was coming home from work, and my therapist gave me some very helpful, like very practical tools to help deal with those situations, and it's been tremendously helpful. Other professionals could help as well. Like I personally have been getting a lot of help from a homeopathic doctor that I've been seeing. He honed in right away that like the frontal part of my brain was not functioning optimally, and without even telling him about all the addiction stuff, he sort of figured that out right away. And he's given me some very helpful supplements, homeopathic supplements that I'm taking, that that are supposed to help for OCD and compulsions and emotional roller coasters and things like that. And I will say, like, since being on it, have felt a lot better, and the whole recovery journey has felt a lot easier. The more help that you can get in this, the better. It's just not reasonable to think that you can do this all alone. And if you're struggling, it's not because you're like bad or you're suck at this or whatever. It's just you need support. Um, and there's no shame in getting help. That's my advice for today, day 16. Keep going strong, y'all, and I will check back in with you guys later. Peace.